The reason I do this is because I was very sick when I was a teenager. I had ulcerative colitis, and I had severe allergies, and I had recurring infections, and it was so bad that I had dropped out of school, and my mother took me from one doctor to another, trying to find a solution for all the problems I was having, and it ended up being that I sat across from a gastroenterologist, and he told me, "Son, we're going to put you on prednisone, and if that doesn't work, we're going to take your colon out." And there was a turning point for me, because I was clear that that would not do, that that was not good enough. And I resolved that if I hadn't found an answer through the docs that my mother had taken me to so far, I was going to find an answer, whether it was another doc or me finding the answer. And it sent me to the library to study ulcerative colitis and the other problems that I was having, until I was lucky enough to run across a book called The Stress of Life by Hans Selye. Hans Selye was a Canadian endocrinologist, and he pretty much single-handedly developed the whole model around stress and how stress affects people, living systems. And in his research, he came up with the triad of Selye, the three things that always happen to a lab rat if you stress it enough. And those three things are the adrenal glands enlarge, trying to produce more hormones to allow you to adapt to the stress. And then you get atrophy of the lymphatic system, so the body's ability to fight infection breaks down, or regulate its response to inflammation breaks down. And then the last thing is their guts bleed. And I read that, and I said, I'm that lab rat, and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find a solution. I know that stressors, all the accumulated stressors, are what have caused that. And now I need to go through and determine which ones I can then control so that I can heal. And that's what I did. And I started looking at my diet. I started looking at my environment. I started practicing stress management techniques through meditation and yoga, things of that nature. Chiropractic ended up being a big part of this story. Understanding more about clinical nutrition, figuring out how I was put together genetically, what my predispositions were, and then addressing that through real specific nutrition. And as I brought those things together, I kept getting better until I was well. And so when I looked at that, I had to figure that there were other people besides me that were experiencing the same thing. And I knew that because of what I experienced, I could be useful. And so that's what I decided, is I'd take that knowledge that I'd gained and I would put it to service of other people. And that's why I do what I do.